I watched pretty much every single one of Caitlin's games early on because I am a fan. I do like good basketball. And of course, I wanted to see how she would.
It seems like you're referencing a brewing controversy within the WNBA that has sparked intense debate among fans, players, and analysts. At the heart of this storm is Caitlin Clark, the rising star whose remarkable season has become overshadowed by issues with how the league, under Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, has treated her. Caitlin Clark has been a standout in women's basketball, breaking records and gaining widespread recognition for her exceptional performances. However, the controversy stems from perceived mistreatment by the WNBA's leadership, which some believe has tarnished the league's credibility. Sue Bird, one of the most respected figures in the sport, has publicly called attention to this issue, signaling that the league's handling of Clark could have significant implications for the future of women's basketball. The controversy seems to stem not just from Clark's individual situation but from larger systemic issues within the WNBA, questions surrounding leadership, fairness, and the treatment of its players. As a rising superstar, Clark's experiences are being seen as a reflection of broader challenges the league faces, particularly in terms of how it markets and supports its talent. Bird's outspoken stance adds weight to the criticisms of how WNBA leadership, under Engelbert, has handled such situations. This has ignited a wave of discontent from various corners of the basketball world, with many questioning the priorities and direction of the league. Whether this will lead to meaningful changes or further division remains to be seen. The stakes are high as the WNBA faces pressure to ensure it treats its players, especially its stars like Caitlin Clark, with the respect and support they deserve.
Don't. And it actually, we talked about this before, like the fan that went hard at Caitlin at the Connecticut Sun game in game 1 or 2, I can't remember, where there was an interaction where the fan almost got ejected. It's like, none of this is okay. And we never accept it. We never accept this on the men's side. Why is it okay in our league? Why is it, welcome to...
It sounds like you're gearing up for an in-depth analysis of the controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark and the WNBA's leadership. This situation has definitely raised some significant questions about how the league treats its players, especially those who are elevating the game to new heights. The issue at the center of this storm is why Clark, whose incredible performance on the court has boosted viewership and attendance, has faced such treatment that has left fans frustrated and angry. As a star player, her influence on the league has been undeniable, so her experiences have highlighted some troubling discrepancies in how the WNBA's leadership handles its most high-profile athletes now. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's role in this situation is under scrutiny. Fans and analysts are questioning why a player like Caitlin Clark, whose marketability and impact on the league are clear, would face such challenges. This treatment has led to broader concerns about the WNBA's priorities, leadership decisions, and whether the league is truly supporting its players the way it should. As we break this down, it's crucial to consider what this controversy means for the future of the league. Will it force the WNBA to reevaluate how it handles star power, marketing, and the treatment of its players, especially rising stars like Clark? Or will the league continue to face these internal challenges, risking both player dissatisfaction and fan disengagement? Stay tuned as we dig into these critical questions and explore the ramifications for the WNBA's future.
They do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion and music. Like, the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college.
Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's recent public statements have certainly stirred controversy and sparked fierce debates among WNBA fans, players, and analysts alike. During her appearance on CNBC's Power Lunch, Engelbert emphasized the importance of rivalry in boosting the visibility of the league. While her intention was to highlight how competition could drive interest and attention in sports, the timing and tone of her comments struck a nerve with many. The backlash comes into sharp focus when considering the broader context of the ongoing issues players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have faced, especially with regard to their treatment in the league. Clark, in particular, has been a major force in boosting viewership and attendance, Yet she and other stars have encountered what many perceive as a lack of support or recognition from the league's leadership. The idea that rivalries are the key to improving the league's visibility might have seemed tone-deaf to fans who felt that the real issue was not a lack of competitive tension but rather how the league treats its top athletes. Fans saw Engelbert's comments as missing the mark, especially when you consider the specific players she mentioned. Caitlin Clark's rising star power is undeniable, yet her treatment by the league has been criticized as inadequate. Similarly, Angel Reese, another rising star, has had her own share of challenges, especially related to media coverage and the handling of her persona. In this light, Engelbert's statement about rivalries felt disconnected from the real challenges the league faces, especially when many believe the priority should be ensuring that players like Clark and Reese are supported, respected, and given the resources they need to flourish. This has only added fuel to the fire, raising serious questions about the league's leadership and its ability to foster a positive environment for its most influential athletes. As the debate continues, it will be interesting to see if the league takes a step back and reassesses its approach to player treatment, visibility, and marketing before moving forward with ideas like rivalries. Its athletes. She argued that Engelbert's comments highlighted a disconnect between what the league needs in terms of visibility and the more pressing issues of player safety, mental health, and the toxic environment many athletes are forced to navigate. This criticism resonated with a lot of fans and analysts who have grown increasingly frustrated with the league's apparent failure to defend its players from harmful rhetoric, both from fans and in the media. The fact that such dangerous discourse was allowed to thrive online without proper intervention only made matters worse. To many, this reflected a fundamental flaw in leadership, an inability to prioritize what truly matters, the well-being of the players who are the face of the league. By focusing on rivalries as a strategy for growth, Engelbert inadvertently highlighted the WNBA's failure to protect its most valuable assets, its athletes, from the real dangers they face in both physical and digital arenas. This has left many wondering if the league's leadership is out of touch with the challenges that players like Clark and Reese are enduring, and whether the WNBA is truly prepared to address the structural problems that continue to hurt the league's credibility and public image.
One white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. It's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were 5 years ago.
After the intense backlash, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert issued an apology, acknowledging that her comments were misguided. She stated, "I should have stated directly and unequivocally that hate speech is harmful." While the apology was an attempt to correct the mistake, it fell flat for many players and fans. The expectation was that Engelbert would take more decisive action to address the issues, rather than merely offering words after the fact. This response highlighted a deeper problem, a growing gap between the league's leadership and its core responsibilities, namely player protection and the integrity of the game. The apology, although acknowledging the issue, did little to address the larger, systemic concerns. Critics noted that this was not an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern in which Engelbert's leadership style seemed to prioritize marketable narratives over meaningful policies. This has eroded trust among many in the league who believe that more attention should be paid to the safety and well-being of players rather than just crafting rivalries to sell the league. By focusing on rivalries and public-facing stories, Engelbert inadvertently drew attention to the lack of tangible, concrete measures that could address the critical issues like player safety, respect, and protection from hate speech. This shift in focus left many with the impression that the league was more concerned with maximizing profits and visibility than with upholding principles that protect its players and foster a healthy, safe environment. Recent comments from Engelbert only seemed to reinforce this narrative.